So that
So
being said, before here, I have a question that I want to pose to you. Before it was announced that James Gunn was going to do Suicide Squad, or like a reboot of Suicide Squad, it was heavily postulated for a moment that he was going to do the Man of Steel sequel. He was going to do a standalone Superman movie. His name was kind of tied to the Superman property for a while. Not with any credibility. It was just all speculation. And now, I mean, yeah, okay, cool. He's doing a Suicide Squad movie. But now with the Corto Maltese, sorry, my cat is trying to get out of the office right now. So give me 1 second. I'll let her out. But now with the Corto Maltese Easter egg Easter egg potential spoiler, 50-50 chance. What do you think the chances are going to be that we see Superman, whether it's Henry Cavill or not? What are the chances that we're going to see Superman make a cameo in this movie?
I think there's a good chance that he'll make a cameo. He might do like what they did with the, I don't know if you've seen Shazam. Spoiler alert, after credits he's in there, but you don't see Henry Cavill's head. You just see them. You know it's him, but you just see the body. Obviously the body though, but it's that Superman. So there's a good possibility that he can make it an appearance. If he does, it's probably going to be along that line, and it's going to stay that way. I know James Gunn was attached to the Man of Steel property, but after he made his reconciliation with Marvel, I don't know if Marvel's going to allow that. Nah, you bring your ass back here. So he might just probably keep it as a cameo, and then if he decides to do a third one or do something else with DC, he probably will go revisit it. But honestly, if it's a cameo, I'm just gonna take it as a cameo because there's no consistency and no continuity with the whole DCEU.
You would be completely correct in saying that there is no consistency between the DC movies.
Goes out the door with them guys.
But isn't that kind of refreshing though? In that we do kind of get to still, like, if it's a Marvel Studios film, it is going to be a very particular flavor. It is going to, like, everything is going to tie into itself. We all know that this universe that Marvel Studios is building is all interconnected. But isn't there something kind of poetic and fun about seeing a like going into a DC property that you don't exactly know? Like, is this connected? Is it not connected? Does this just get to be its own thing? What are we doing here? Do you see that as refreshing at all, or are you more into the interconnectivity of things?
I'm on the interconnectivity things because it's too damn confusing. Okay, I need some time. It's too damn confusing. And on top, here's the thing: I'm a guy. I'm a nerd. I grew up with these characters. Listen. I'm not just a Marvel fanboy. I love DC. I grew up with those characters too. I want to see those characters done right too. And I almost thought that maybe, Warner Brothers in DC kind of corrected it with the whole Crisis on Infinite Earths on the CW when they did all that. Because it was like, okay, that's clever. That's a kind of a soft reboot way to kind of get things. There's the multiverse, and it shows like Marvel, like, hey, we know you're doing the multiverse. We got you. We beat you to the punch. You know what I mean? But like I said, there's no consistency with them because I think what's missing with them is that they don't have a Kevin Feige. Okay, Kevin Feige or Feige. I don't pronounce his last name right. Feige. Kevin Feige, he heads the Marvel Studios and he oversees everything. There's not one particular person for that with DC. And I think that's where the problem is. They need somebody to like oversee everything to say, okay, well, this is the plan, because obviously every phase Marvel has a blueprint of what the end goal is or what the end game is, no pun intended. But DC is just like, we'll just throw the papers in and let the chips fall where they fall. Let everybody do their own thing. And I think that's the problem, that they have these standalone films and everybody has their own thing, but it's like it's they don't consult with each other. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. And I think that's where it gets kind
Well,
of
no, yeah, I mean, you're completely right. Like, they don't, missing that central Kevin Feige figure. I mean, they do have Walter Hamada right now. Walter, I can't remember the name of the president from the former president of DC Films, but now it's Walter Hamada. He's kind of steered the DC ship in a better direction. I mean, look at Shazam. Earlier you mentioned Shazam. That was great. Aquaman was kind of a fun, crazy movie, directed by Justin Lin. And then we get Wonder Woman. Admittedly, came before Walter Hamada's tenure. And then, the standalone Joker film. And now we're getting the Suicide Squad and a reimagined Zack Snyder Justice League movie? We'll talk about that in a second. But Walter Hamada, while doing some good and trying to bring some fun and levity into the DCEU, or whatever we're calling, like, are there multiple universes within this film series? I don't know, whatever. You're right. They don't have a singular vision. There is no singular vision. And it's kind of a similar problem with, Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy. And, she's one of the best producers in the business. Look at her track record. Look at her awards. But running a studio is different from producing a film. And
exactly.
And, I think that's where, Kathleen Kennedy has fallen a little short. I think that's also where Walter Hamada has fallen short. Also, look at all the controversy that is happening with, there's the whole Ray Fisher situation, Cyborg from Justice League. There is all the stuff going on with Ezra Miller. I don't know if you remember, but there was that Ezra Miller controversy where he pretty much grabbed a woman by the throat and forced her to the ground because she was kind of making fun of him. And it was caught on video. And there has been no repercussions from that whatsoever. The whole Johnny Depp thing got swept under the rug for a while until now it's forefront in everyone's minds. And finally, DC's hand was kind of, Warner Brothers' hands were tied. And they said, okay, well, now we have to sever ties with you, Johnny Depp. So there's a little bit of controversy going on over at Warner Brothers as well. Not to mention that they just upset how many studios and directors by announcing they're putting all of their big major blockbusters on HBO Max the same day they're coming out in theaters. They've really upset the balance here. So,
here's the thing with that. I will give credit to Warner Brothers for being the first ones to say, all right, you know what? Whoever does this first is gonna be hated. So you know what? Let it be us. You know what I mean? And they said, screw it, let's do it. Because here's the thing. A lot of these studios, they got to hear the rumblings of other things that's going on. So Warner Brothers is not stupid. They know what Disney was planning to do with Disney Plus, because they had to, because everybody's still waiting, like, what did I get this app for? For nostalgia? No. And then, because Warner Brothers know, they know the competition is, okay? And they know Disney got something up their sleeve, because Disney loves to pull that petty card. They always see Warner Brothers will drop something, and Disney will just sit back and go, "Oh, that's so cute."
Disney has the money to keep an ace up their sleeve at all times.
Oh yeah, absolutely, they do, and they know it, and they love doing it. I remember when the first Wonder Woman came out, and everybody was talking about it, and then Disney coincidentally drops the Black Panther trailer that week, and no one gave a crap about Wonder Woman anymore. It was all about Black Panther. Like, I can't wait till next year that came out. So Disney definitely knows what they're doing. But yeah, going back to you saying, yeah, Warner Brothers definitely upset the status quo with that. But what are these studios going to do? Are they going to keep sitting on these films? Like, how long is Disney going to sit on Black Widow at this point? It's like, come on. Like, just At this
Well,
point, you're
I
sitting
mean,
on
when it's a potential billion-dollar film, they have an opportunity to make. I mean, it's not guaranteed to make $1 billion, but if they release it on Disney Plus, they're gonna. What's the return on their investment? They've already invested $200 million into the movie. They've spent a ton of it, like maybe $100 million at this point, on advertising. If it does come out in theaters, they have to spend that much more, and if it just goes straight to Disney Plus, they're not going to make that kind of a return on their investment, even if they do like a premium rental, like what they did with Mulan. Mulan lost money. Mulan lost money, and they can't afford to lose that kind of money with Black Widow. It's got to stay in the can.
Yeah, but I mean, is it though? Because look at Wonder Woman 84 though.
What about it?
Did it make the money back that it's
They're
spent?
not. Nobody's releasing the numbers right now. So there's projections. I believe like the kind of postulation that is coming out right now about Wonder Woman 84 is that it was just kind of breaking even. The money that it made in theaters, because again, that movie Wonder Woman 84 is an interesting thing too, because Warner Brothers also did the media advertising. So essentially the schematic, or the matrix rather, to how to project how much money a film needs to make in order for it to make money. You have the amount of money that it costs to make the film. Wonder Woman, $200 million. And then you have to double that for advertising. So now there's another $200 million. So now we're at $400 million. And then whenever it plays in theaters, you have to multiply that 400 by 1.5, which is essentially another $200 million. So in order for that movie to break even, because you have to pay the movie theaters, that's what that 1.5 is. You have to pay the movie theaters. Sometimes it's a little bit less, sometimes it's a little bit more, but on average, approximately it's 1.5, right? So now we're looking at $600 million just for that movie to break even. Same thing with Justice League. Justice League, I think, came in at worldwide box office was like $640 million, something like that. So they just barely broke even. They turned a tiny little profit.
That's just the best.
I think that was worldwide. I believe that was worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
I may be incorrect, but I believe that was worldwide. Anyway, I mean, we could go on and talk about this for forever, but it all started with the Suicide Squad. Guys, what do you think about the Suicide Squad? So we've kind of been talking about the Suicide Squad for a while now. What do you guys think about it? Are you excited for it? What do you think the big spoilers from the description, from the synopsis mean? Do you think there's a chance a Superman is going to show up? Do you think they're going to follow that storyline? Do you think they're going to pull like a Captain America Civil War and kind of keep the essence of what it is and go in a completely different direction? What do you guys think? Jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Luke Skywalker would want you to do. Da 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 dun dun da 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 dun dun.